Well, John Kentera and I are longtime friends. He obviously was part of the original Extra 690, found a role, found a niche, did really good, became very popular. When that station went away because of corporate ownership, he went to 1090. I eventually wound up going from Sirius XM, home plate channel baseball, to 1090. And we stayed in place there until that went down when corporate ownership destroyed that station. And John resurfaced as one of the first hires at the Padres station, The Fan. They let him go this week. I was shocked when he called me and said, I have been terminated. John and I have been tight forever. And I was really steamed because I've sat here and I watched corporate radio destroy the two radio stations that I worked at after a whole bunch of us gave our lives to make that format work in this marketplace. And then, then I found out they terminated him right before Christmas. No severance that I know of yet. No medical care post termination yet that I'm aware of. And they gave him no reason whatsoever. And that's upsetting. Loyal, honorable, worked really, really hard, knows everybody, found a niche. Why would you not want to keep that as part of your team? And what I've been able to dig through the undercurrents is there's a staff issue there. I'm led to believe some of his, quote, teammates wanted one of their friends to take over the midday spot. And John had good ratings. I get access to the ratings. I know every day part, who's doing well, who's not doing well. And the Fan's been successful, byproduct of having Padre baseball. The other station, 760, has been a total disaster. Sports talk radio is no longer successful in this market, with the exception of what the Fan's doing. But to treat this guy that way, that really bothered me. And I was just really offended by how he was told. He was given no reason. There was never a conversation about, we want you to structure your format differently. Usually, if things aren't working, management will come to you and say, okay, we don't want you to do this. We want you to try this. They did it with me at 1090. They said, we're not going to stay on a solo show. We want everybody to have a two-man show. So we tried hard to find the right combination. It didn't work. And they eventually let my co-host go. And then they let me go when my contract expired. And I said, okay, I did the best I could. John's done the best he could. I just thought it was really, really unfair. And you're a sports talk junkie. I understand that. That's how come we got this podcast going. There's so many good guys who aren't working in radio right now, who in this market alone. But it's an expensive format to run. But I went haywire because I thought it was really cheap. And I said, shame on the program director for doing this. This man has been special in this marketplace, and he's found a niche and is well received and liked. And I felt really bad for John, and I don't know that they'll come out the other side because there's really no other places to go work to do sports talk radio now because the market has compressed itself. And then secondly, you're going to go to work for people that screwed the stations you worked at up before. You're going to go back and work for them. I don't know. So I felt really, really bad about that. So I made comments, and then suddenly everybody at 97.3 decided they were going to pile on me. That's okay. I don't give a crap whether you like me or not. I will say what I believe. And at the end of the day, I thought about this on Christmas Eve because I talked to John twice since he called me and said, I've been terminated. At the end of the day, if you don't stand up for a friend, what kind of friend are you? End of discussion as I view it. You got an opinion? Shed what you're thinking.
It was wild over the weekend. I was just reading the Twitter, and I mean, not only you are standing up for what you believe in, and kudos to you for that. And then Woods is chirping back, and there was a little bit of back and forth, but then the fans were all jumping in as well. I mean, so there was just a flurry of Twitter activity. But, fans were making assumptions on why the coach was let go. And you're saying he wasn't given a reason at all? Because the speculation was either the ratings were low, the ratings maybe were not targeting the right demographic, or maybe they just wanted someone younger. But I'm surprised they didn't tell tell coach straight up what the problem was. Maybe it's a money thing.
I don't think it's a money thing. I think it's a personality thing. I think it was driven by some of his staff members, and that's terrible. Because if that is the story that happened, you stabbed a teammate in the back. A good teammate. Hey, if I were king and I was starting sports talk radio, I'd hire me first. I'd hire him to be
Yeah.
part of my team because I've been there, done that, 2 different stations with what he did. That's one man's opinion. If you agree, great. If you disagree, that's okay too. But like I said, I just had an ache in my heart that they did this right before Christmas. And what kind of friend are you if you don't stand up for your friend?
That is really crazy timing too. Now, some of the fans on Twitter were speculating, who knows what's true here, but that the coach knew about this like at least a month in advance. So it wasn't like he was terminated on the spot, but I don't know what reality and what some of this Twitter nonsense is.
He was shocked. He was devastated. He was upset. And then I got upset. And the leadership of that station and those guys in that station have reacted so strongly to what I said. That might be guilt on their conscience and that might be blood on their hands. That's a problem. Hey, our podcast